Hello, nerds. I interrupt your daily normal broadcasting programs in order to bring you a special message. There's been news on Title Update 3, and there's a lot that we need to talk about today, so let's get into it. Hey guys, and what is up, and welcome back to the nerdiest place on Earth. I just wanted to talk to you guys today. I know we just talked about Title Update 3, but I was watching a special broadcast on the Monster Hunter Twitch channel last night, which outlined some super cool stuff that we're going to be seeing in Title Update 3, and I kind of wanted to talk to you guys about it. And a lot of it has to do with the new Omega Planets fight that we're going to be getting. We're going to be seeing a whole bunch of new things like mechanics and stuff like that, and I kind of wanted to highlight those to give people a little bit of insight into what we're actually going to be working with, because this is going to be very different from what you're used to experiencing in Monster Hunter. It's actually going to be structured much more like a Final Fantasy Online raid boss than it is going to be like a normal Monster Hunter fight. So I kind of wanted to outline some of that stuff and talk about it, and also cover some of the other interesting details that we saw, because it looks like we're not just getting one armor set, but two, and a total of 3 weapons. So I just want to cover that with you guys. Let's take a look and I'll show you what's going on. Okie dokie, so in order to keep things nice and simple and kick things off, they did choose the winners for the Monster Hunter Wilds Design Contest fan submissions for both the weapon and the pendant. So for the weapon, they chose this super awesome greatsword that's called the Shatter Seal, and as you can see, it looks like when you're charging up an attack for it, it goes from a shattered position into a fully put back together position, and then it looks like when you're gonna do like a true charge slam, it looks like it's gonna create a shattering effect on the environment around you, which is gonna be really cool, honestly. And a big shout out to the artist Nolan Liu. This is a freaking awesome design. Congratulations, man. And then, of course, we've got our awesome new pendant by artist Iki. And it looks like it's being called the SOS Meeting Pendant. I'm assuming that this was inspired by one of the early on cutscenes in the games where the Palicos were carrying off that large chunk of meat, which is super fun. And it looks like the 3 Palicos that are attached to it are going to jiggle while you run and it moves. So that's super cool. I love it. Congratulations to artist Iki for making this. This is a super awesome design, and I'm really excited to see it in the game. And on to our next order of business. I did tell you guys that we are getting 2 armor sets instead of just the one that we originally thought that we were going to be getting, which is freaking sick. And really, at the end of the day, it's 3, because when it comes to the Dark Knight one, the male and female look pretty much the same, but for this other armor set, it looks like the male and the female are both completely different. So that's going to be super cool. I can definitely see some inspiration here happening and from the Final Fantasy franchise. I'm really getting like some Sephiroth vibes and some Magitech vibes from Final Fantasy Online. And the Sword and Shield, yes, the Sword and Shield, it almost looks like it's like a one black wing, kind of like Sephiroth would have, which is super cool. I'm loving to see that, and I'm super excited to see these in the game and see how they actually look. Speaking of which, we are going to be getting a brand new Sword and Shield, as you can see there, and we are also going to be getting a sick new Insect Glaive. I don't know what the skills are going to look like on these weapons, but I'm sure you can see from the Insect Glaive here that it looks like you're going to be able to have Alpha as your Kinsect, which, I mean, come on, dude, that's super, super cool. And then, if you're a Final Fantasy Online player like me, and you're into side quests, that bottom right hand corner there has a very specific pose that you're seeing, and what that actually is an emote from Final Fantasy Online that's part of one of my favorite quest lines, and it's the Manderville quest line, and that one is called the Manderville Dance, and it looks like that emote is going to be coming into the game, which I'm going to be getting my hands on no matter what it takes. And now, kind of getting into the nitty gritty about what I was talking about in the beginning of the video about how this boss fight is going to be much more like a Final Fantasy Online raid boss than it is going to be a normal Monster Hunter fight. So as you can see, there's these shields popping up, right, that can block Omega's attacks. But now, Omega is going to use a super move, and you'll see that it looks like the cue is him flying around the room in a circle, and he summons a Nerscylla. But what you'll notice is that this is not a normal Nerscylla. You'll see that he starts shooting lasers out of him and doing all kinds of stuff that a Nerscylla wouldn't do. Now, it looks like what the goal is here is to defeat this Nerscylla as fast as possible, because while you're fighting him, Omega is actually charging up his ultimate attack, and that ultimate attack looks like it's going to be capable of one-shotting the party. So it looks like you're going to be trying to take him down, and once you are able to get this Nerscylla taken down, then it looks like it's going to create a special kind of shield that's going to pop up that'll be able to block the attack, and you'll be able to see that in a second. But it looks like he doesn't have that much health, and if you wail on him pretty quickly, it looks like you'll be able to take him out relatively fast. I don't know what this is going to look like for solo players, or if it's even going to really be super possible as a solo player, but yeah, you see that they just destroyed him, and now that he's dead, it has created the shield bubble, and everyone's going to hop inside this shield bubble, and then Omega is going to pop off his ultimate attack here that would normally one-shot the party if they weren't inside of it, but that's protecting them from getting killed, which is such a cool mechanic, and I'm really excited to see this actually popping up in the game here, because it's going to change Monster Hunter in general and how some of these bosses are going to be fought. Speaking of which, it looks like this guy is going to hit like an absolute truck, so make sure you're geared up for the fight. From what I understand, it looks like he is going to deal dragon damage, but it looks like he can loop you pretty hard and kill you in one combo. Now let's get into some of the more subtle little details about things that I noticed, because there's a couple little things that I saw while I was watching this that I just thought was super cool. Like the fact that they're actually using the damage numbers from Final Fantasy Online is so cool. And they're going to be incorporating little penalties into it. It looks like for when you get carded, it looks like your health actually gets restricted by a certain amount, which is unconfirmed officially how much it's going to reduce it every time you cart, but it is going to put a cap on your maximum health, it looks like, and I'm not sure if there's going to be a way to clear that debuff or not. Okay, so here we are at the crossroads of our journey. We've covered a lot of the information and seen a lot of things that are going to be upcoming, but you're probably wondering, what tips and tricks do I have in order to help you succeed in this fight? Aside from just kind of the breakdown of how the boss fight's going to work, I have two solid suggestions for things that you should be doing during this boss fight. And the first one is going to be, don't die. And the second one is going to be,
get good.
No, but seriously, at the end of the day, I think it's just going to take a lot of trial and error to get through this fight, especially the Savage Edition. And I know that's something that I didn't really cover earlier, but there is going to be a Savage Edition of it, and that is how you are going to get the secondary armor set that I showcased earlier, is going to be from the Savage version of the boss fight. So there's going to be two total different fights that you're going to be able to take on, one with an increasingly harder difficulty. So we're going to have to kind of see how that goes and work it out. That's the best thing I can tell you. We're just going to have to work together, be patient, and get the job done. But anyways, guys, I think that's going to be all for today. I'm going to keep the video relatively short because I don't want to talk your ear off too much. But yeah, if you could drop a like and a subscribe on the video, it always helps us bring you guys content coming forward in the future, and it always helps me, slump off the couch, roll over, get in my gaming chair, and decide to record a new video. But anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you have a great rest of your day, and peace out.